My favorite teacher was Miss Broward. Miss Broward really loved teaching, and you can tell because it was in her heart. She did fun things with us. Of course, took us on field trips. I just love Miss Broward. She was my first grade teacher, and that's the teacher that always comes to mind when somebody asks me who my favorite teacher is.
Okay. Happy Teacher Appreciation Week, everyone. My favorite teacher or most influential teacher growing up was Miss Jane Wells, and she was my 7th grade French teacher. She was young, she was enthusiastic, she kept us all busy. She never spoke a word of English to us from day one, and yet she scaffolded us and managed us, and we left that class after 3 years of doing pretty well in French. She was influential because she had such an enthusiasm for what she did, and encouraged me to consider teaching as a career, and I did, and here we are. And that's my story of Miss Wells.
My favorite teacher was Mr. Piccolo. He was my 6th grade science teacher. He was just a fun, interactive guy. He made everything exciting, and that really sparked my love for science. So definitely Mr. Piccolo.
Well, I'm thankful to say I've had many during my time in school, but probably one of my favorites was my 10th grade world history teacher, Mr. Grizzoffi. I had moved to a new school 1,800 miles away, and I had no interest in doing anything but failing school to spite my parents. And he stepped in and said, and saw my potential, saw the trouble that I was in, and said that is not going to happen, and made sure that I got hooked up with the right teachers, the right clubs, and supported me all through high school, even after I didn't have him anymore, followed me through college. And the last time I saw him was at my 10-year reunion, where he had retired and was running an orchid farm in Central Florida, and said he always knew that I would do everything I set out to do. So he saw more in me than I saw in myself.
My favorite teacher was Mr. Riley because he made statistics fun in class.
Hi, I'm Christina Steffen, and my favorite teacher was Miss Alvarez, my 9th grade geography teacher, mostly because now I've traveled all over the world pretty much, and I remember a lot of things she taught me back in 9th grade, so one of my most memorable teachers.
Hi, my name is Miss Wells, and I'm a 4th grade teacher at Wildlight Elementary. Today I'm going to be talking about who my favorite teacher was. My favorite teacher was Miss Whitley. She is actually my 4th grade teacher, and I loved her because she introduced me to a lot of great stories like A Wrinkle in Time and Hatchet and The Secret Garden, and she really just nurtured my love for reading. And I remember that she always really listened whenever you needed to talk about personal problems or anything at all. So she was more of a mentor than a teacher, I think, and that's what I strive to be to my students. Thanks.
I had a couple favorite teachers. One of them would have had to be Faye Green. She made learning so fun and exciting. You just never knew what was going to happen when you went to her class that day. The other would have to be Kathy Mary. Miss Mary was such a wonderful grammar teacher, which is such a needful skill in the world today, especially as a teacher and a person in general. My absolute favorite teacher would have to be Miss Kathy Burns in 4th grade because she's such a loving person and just absolutely the best teacher in the world.
Hi, I'm Natasha Drake, principal of Yulee High School, and one of my favorite teachers was my senior English teacher, Linda Proctor. Miss Proctor fostered a love of English, but most importantly, she fostered a love of her babies, her students. And we learned how to give our teachers a little dose of grace and compassion, and in return, she just showered us with her love. And she was the teacher I wanted to be, to hold my students to a high standard, but also to love them unconditionally. And lots of love to Miss Proctor.
Hi, I'm Tracy Miller from Callahan Elementary School.
And I'm Jordan Miller from Southside Elementary.
And we're here to tell you about our
favorite teachers.
Jordan, you want to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
So my favorite teacher is Miss Falk from Yulee High School, and she really inspired me to want to inspire others, especially through science.
Go Miss Falk. My favorite teacher was my third grade teacher who had some very high expectations. She was a super tough teacher, and quite honestly, not a lot of people liked her, but she raised those expectations high, and I met them, and she pushed me farther than I ever thought I could go in reading, and hey, I'm a reading coach now. Maybe that was the start of it all.
Maybe so.
Maybe. Hey, shall we do a cheer for our teachers?
I think we should.
Let's do it.
2, 4, 6, 8, who do we appreciate? You, teachers!
I've taken many classes and many courses, and I've learned many things, but the most important things that I've learned are valuable life lessons and valuable life skills. And because of my teachers, they're not just teachers, they are mentors. And because of my mentors, all their lessons and all their skills they have taught me will be with me forever.